Hi guys, and welcome to this week's video. My name's Shay if you're new here, and I thought I would take you along with me as I check out some of the op shops for some books. So you're actually sitting on a stack of books at the moment that I bought yesterday, so we'll do a haul at the end. But behind me is an empty room, which was technically or is technically a study, which I do want to turn into a home library. So eventually it will have some shelves on it. But at the moment I'm just trying to collect some books secondhand, one because it's cheaper, but also just wanting to collect books that I actually want to read. I have been offered some books just to sort of fill the space up, but I would prefer to only have books that I want to keep that I actually like in the library. So at the moment, it's literally just an empty room. So these were the books you were on. But this is basically the empty room at the moment. I've sort of guessed where I think the studs are. So the shelves I want to put up are about 2.4 meters long. So I'm going to need the 4 studs to put the brackets on. But this is sort of the space that I'm looking at the moment. At first, I'm going to fill up this wall. So obviously, if I have them up too high, they're going to be more books, I guess, that I don't reach for, like things like my Harry Potter books, which I want to keep. I may not reread anymore, but I definitely don't want to get rid of them. So that might be more like for the higher shelves. And then if I run out, I might put some over this side. So I have sort of plotted out where I think the brackets need to go on both sides, but for now, it'll just be on this one wall because I don't have that many books. So these are my current books at the moment. So I did a haul with these not long ago. I am looking to add to this collection and to this collection here with the Laurell K. Hamilton books. Maybe these ones if I can find any. So this is basically the current unread shelf at the moment. I have read some of these here, but I'm trying to collect the whole set. But yeah, these I got not long ago, and then I'll show you the books that I've been carrying around for years. So in these drawers in my living room, I have my current book collection. So I've got a lot of long series here and some under there. They're all the same authors, but these are sort of like my current collection. These are the ones that I have read and don't want to throw out. Some of these ones here, like the Marion Lennox ones, is actually someone that my mum used to work for and she used to write them. So some of these are signed as well. But these are my keeps. I have a few other drawers, but they're full of DVDs. So I don't really particularly use the DVDs anymore. I just don't know what to do with them. Because I don't know if people want to actually have them when they're donated. So worst case scenario, I have a ridiculous amount of DVDs. So I can potentially just put them on the other side of the wall, but I would prefer to have it just as books. So with all that said, let's actually go shopping. It's 10 o'clock now, so I kind of only want to be out for a couple of hours and be back by lunch. Let's see what we can find, if anything. All right, so we're at the first one. It's a Salvation Army. We'll see what they've got, and I probably won't film too much inside, depending on how many people are in there, but I'll try and get an overview of some of the books. Alright guys, so I didn't end up grabbing anything at the first one. There were a couple of cute little books that I thought sounded okay, or some that didn't have the first in the series there. So I didn't actually pick anything up, I just left them. I really want to read through the books that I have first and only pick up ones that I really want to read. So nothing there today. I do sometimes want to start trying to collect the Janet Evanovich series. She's got a few, but the Stephanie Plum series, which starts with One for the Money, which also has a movie. It's really good. I like that series, but it's very rare, except for this time I did manage to find a couple that they're not the really large hardback books. I prefer a paperback, and I like the smaller books. So I didn't pick those ones up either, but I don't know, maybe if I find a lot of the large hardback ones, as I said, but I haven't seen many of the smaller ones. So I don't know if I want to try and start collecting that series. If I do feel like I want to read it again, I can maybe just borrow it from the library or just download it on my Kindle. But they are good books if you are looking for a long series. Stephanie Plum series, really good. Alright, it's hot in this car. You can probably see I'm starting to go red. So we're going to move on to the next op shop. Alright guys, so I've got 3 op shops in this sort of little shopping section. I think one's a Salvo store, a Vinnie's store, and I think a Uniting. So I'm just going to walk up. I've parked sort of in the middle, and I'm just going to walk up between the 3 and see if we can find anything here. All right, I'm going to try and film this really quickly because it's getting hot in the car and I've got the windows up because there's a lot of traffic. So I don't want to have to try and fight the traffic noise. I did have some success in the first one, kind of. I found 3 books in the first up shop. I didn't find anything in the second up shop, but I did find a copy of the one that I already bought in the first one, which was cheaper in the second up shop, but that's okay. It wasn't really expensive enough in the first place to sort of want to, take my money back and buy it cheaper. And then I found one book in the third op shop. So I've got a few more that I want to go to today. So let's just get going because I need to get the window down because I'm about to sweat my way through my fresh air, which is super annoying. Okay, so I just come out of the Vinnies. There was Icebreaker in there, but it was water damaged and $5. And as much as I think that might be just a cute, easy rom-com read, I don't necessarily want to pay $5 at an op shop for a damaged book, especially when they sell it at Kmart and Big W, and they have sales quite a lot. So I could probably buy it for that price for brand new, because I know when Kmart does clearances on their books, they're $6. So if I can pay $1 extra for a brand new book, one that's not damaged, I'm not going to pay $5 for it. I probably could have asked if they'd put the price down, but it just isn't worth getting it, I don't think. So I've got two more op shops I think I want to check out, and then I'll do a haul for you guys. Okay, we're at the last one I'm going to look at today, which is the Vinnies. So we'll see what's in here. It's about 1 o'clock now, so I've been out longer than I want. So I'm going to have a quick look in here and then go have some lunch, and then we will do a haul. Alright guys, I'm back at home. I've had some lunch and I've got the 2 stacks of books beside me. I'm sorry if you can hear a lot of background noise. My neighbours decided as soon as I started filming to do all their gardening and mechanical needs. So I'll try and be quick while they're between tasks. But the stack of books that I got yesterday that I didn't film, there are 8 books that I got, all from the one Salvation Army. So I'll go through those first and then I'll go through the books that I got today. I got 6 today from various places, and I might have given some spoilers away as to what I've picked, but that's okay. So starting off with the books that I got yesterday, the first thing I grabbed, these are all $2, I believe, and then I had a 50% off ticket, so I think all up it was $8. I think because they're all $1 each. I can't believe I just had to count that. But the first thing I got was Before You Knew My Name by Jacqueline Bublitz. I had this book on Audible to read because it was a free read in the membership, but I never got around to, I say read on Audible, it was a listen, but I never got around to actually listening to it. But it's, I believe, kind of like not a murder mystery exactly, but I think it's about a woman who, I don't know whether she finds a dead body or something, but it's got really good reviews, and so I'm looking forward to reading that. And I've said in one of the previous videos where I was looking for books, or I was doing a book haul, that I'm trying to go for something a little bit outside of my preference, which is usually anything that's sort of sci-fi, fantasy, romance. So some of these books, not all of them, because some of them are just romance stories, but some of these books are something to try and sort of branch out and try other authors, as well as I'm trying to look specifically for Australian authors as well. So I found a few Liane Moriarty books. The first one I got is The Husband's Secret. So this one is about a woman who finds a thing in the attic from her husband, who's still very much alive in this book, that says only read after he's gone, but she reads it. And I've heard quite a lot of good things about Liane Moriarty, so that I've got a couple of her books. Someone must have been clearing out their stash. So I got The Husband's Secret. Also got The Hypnotist's Love Story, which is a little bit, it sounds like a love triangle, but it's a hypnotist and a guy that she, I think, likes, and then a woman who has some sort of connection to the both of them. So there's that one as well. I'm not explaining it very well, but it's not a book review. It's just this is what I bought. I think that was the only 2 I got from Liane Moriarty. There were others there, but they were the only 2 that I picked up. And then I also got Di Morrissey, Before the Storm, who is another Australian author. This one's about a woman that moves, and then I don't know. Beyond that, I don't really know. So I will be going into those a little bit blind, but I just love the beach on this one. And it does sound really good, but I'm not going to read the blurb, so you can look it up if you want to check out what it might be about. But because, I mean, obviously these aren't, so old that you can't find them. But yeah, they're all from the op shop, so they're not probably like brand new books. The next one I got was, this one is by Peter Brett. His and Brandon Sanderson books are something that I've always thought about reading, but never actually bitten the bullet and like bought any books. So I thought I would start with, I'm pretty sure this is the first one, but it's called The Painted Man. here. So far they're all being $2. So I got them all for $1 at this stage. So I'm hoping this is the first book in, if it's a series, it sounds like it. Kind of sounds like it's a standalone, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't actually looked that up. But if I get around to reading that, I have a massive amount of books on my TBR. Basically every book I own at this point is on my TBR. So I'm trying to go through the ones that I have on my Kindle first, which I think I've got about 10 books sitting on my Kindle. But yeah, so this one is going to be added to the library. And then I think the rest of romances, this one I'm not quite sure. It's called The No-Show by Beth O'Leary, who wrote The Flat Share, which I haven't read, but I watched the TV show they made of it. So it sounds really interesting. It's about 3 women who have dates with a guy that doesn't show up, and I don't know, unbeknown to them, I believe it's the same guy. So interesting. It says it will break your heart and then put it all back together again. So sounds good, in my opinion. I kind of like a book that wrecks you a little bit. So yeah, that one's The No-Show. And then the last 2 are romances. One is from Jackie Burton. It's called Surviving Demon Island. It's about a couple the chick is like a movie action hero, and then the guy is like some sort of ex-military type person, and they're on a reality show, and then something happens and they have to survive. So typical romance, but I really love Jackie Burton. If you're into sports romance, she's got a really good sports romance series, which I love. So this one will be an easy read. I already feel like I'm going to like this one because she's got a really good writing style and they're easy to read. And then the last one that I got yesterday, I have seen the movie but haven't read the book. And normally I find it a bit difficult to read the book after I've already seen the movie, but this is a romance, so I have a feeling that because I already know how it would have ended anyway, it'll be fine. It's called The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. The movie's actually really good, so I'm assuming the book will be even better because it usually is. So definitely one to watch if you're looking for a good romance. And I'm assuming it's going to be a good read because if the movie's good, the books are always better. So that is the last one that I got from yesterday. And then that 8 books cost $8. So pretty good. Okay, so the books that I got today, the first op shop I went to, I had no luck. They did have a lot of Janet Ivanovic, which I've already said, and the smaller books, so like the smaller sized books that I like. So I was tempted to buy some of hers, but they didn't have many of the series and they were all random ones. It wasn't, say, like the first 4 in the series. So I didn't buy anything there. The second place that we went to, I walked along the street and had the 3 op shops. So I did get a few at the second op shop that I went to. It was a Salvation Army. The books in there are a little bit higher priced, and I didn't find anything. I found 3 books at the second op shop that I went to, nothing at the third, but in the third one, the books there were $2, which was cheaper than the other bookshop because they had random prices on everything. And I found one of the books that I bought at the second op shop also in the third op shop, but it was cheaper in the third one, but I'd already bought it at the second one, so I didn't bother taking it back and getting money back just to pay $2 less. But you know, live and learn, and that is just how it is. That second one's a little bit more expensive, but they do tend to get like a more rotated selection of books. So the first one I bought is a Richard Osman book. I don't know if this is the third one, but I think it is in the series. And hopefully I like the first 2 because I have now bought 3 of the same series. But I would say whoever's buying them, maybe reading them. This one, the spine doesn't look cracked at all. But yeah, it looks like almost brand new. but I'm saying I think they are donating them to the same store, so I keep finding them at the same store, just on different days. So I got the first two that like weeks ago, and then this one, which I think is the third today. This one was $4. So their prices were so random. Like there was no like similarities in prices. Some I'd just pick up and it would be $2. Some I'd pick up it'd be $6. I think all of them today were 4. One was 5. Anyway, so that's the first one. The second one is the one that I found two like multiples of, and actually this op shop also had multiples of this book, and that is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. This one was also $4. Look, I've heard a lot of this book, and I don't know if I'm going to like it, but I figure it's a romance. Like it's not going to be a hard read, even if it's not my favorite read. So $4 for that one. And I did find it again for $2, but it wasn't worth going back and like swapping them over. If this has more than one book in the series, I don't know. I thought it was a standalone, which I think it is, because it's got other options in the front. I probably won't go searching for the next one, but anyway, I got that one. And then the last one I got at this second op shop is, this one had like good books, had quite a few that I'd picked up and sort of put back, because while I've heard a lot of good things about the books, they just weren't my style of reading. And so I didn't want to get too many outside of like my preference, because I don't want books on there that I'm not going to read. So I almost picked up The Bee Sting because I've heard that it's like a really good book, but I was reading the synopsis for it and I just wasn't sure, so I just didn't bother, especially because these ones were, even though $4 isn't dear, they were dearer than some of the others. So if I find it later down the track and really want to read it, I'll grab it. But the last one I got was The Seven Skins of Esther Wilding by Holly Ringland. So I think this one sounds interesting. Again, a little bit outside of my usual, because I do prefer like the sci-fi, supernatural, fantasy, whatever. But again, it's one that I've heard a lot about and heard that it's really good. I got this one for $5. So I don't know if it's because it's a larger book, like in the sense that it's like the larger cover. I don't know, because again, none of the pricing made sense, but $5 for that one. Then the next op shop I went to, this one I found at Uniting. It's the first time I've ever found a book in there that I actually like. Their selection's a lot smaller, and I'm guessing that the people that just donate there aren't like reading the same sort of books as me, or they're hanging on to them. But this one's by Georgie Tinley. It's Beach Rivals. What drew my eye was the colours. It was very much like a Emily Henry style. So this one was $2. It's super thin, so this one will take like no time at all to read, but it just seems like a normal like easy summer romance read, and it actually says that it's perfect for fans of Emily Henry. I've got a few of her books. I haven't read them yet, so hopefully I like them, but I'm assuming I will. So there's this one for $2. And then the last two op shops I went to, I got one in each. So the second last op shop I went to, which was the Salvation Army, I found Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Again, I've seen a lot of people like talk about this book. I hadn't really ever heard of, I'd heard of it, but hadn't really heard of what it was about. And it sounds very interesting. It's not, I don't think it's quite a love story, but it's about love. So interesting to see. It's by Gabrielle Zevin. This one cost $3. So I don't know if you can even see the price tag on that one. So I'm intrigued by that one. And I found it, a lot of people that when I see it on BookTube or whatever, they've got like the big hard covers. So found it in a paperback, which is my preference. So that's cool. I'm excited to see what that's about. And then the very last one, I wasn't sure if I was going to pick this one up because I'm not sure if I want to invest my time in this series. but we'll see. We'll see if I like it or if I don't bother reading it. So the last bookshop, for $3, I got The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas. They didn't have any of the others in the series, and I know this is the short stories, and generally I would prefer to read things in publishing order. I know you can read many series many different ways, and it's all personal preference, but for me, I tend to prefer publishing order, unless the author specifically says, no, read it this particular way, to have it make most sense. Sorry, I can't really talk today. So yeah, unless I'm being told by the author themselves, I prefer to read everything in publishing order. So I know this with the short stories is not technically the first published book in the series, but it is a prequel. So maybe, we'll see. I'm not sure. I've heard a lot of people say that you need to really invest in reading this series because the first few aren't too exciting, but it gets really good by the end. So yeah, I'm just not sure if I can be bothered investing in Sarah J Maas. Like, I get the hype around her because I was around when Harry Potter was around. I was around when Twilight was around. Even like so many other series like Catching Fire, all that kind of stuff, Divergent. So I get the hype. I understand it and I can see why people love it. I don't think that at my age I'm all that interested in investing in a YA novel, even if it does progress later down the track. I just can't get my head around reading about teenagers anymore. Even like new adults, sometimes that is still pushing the boundaries for me, especially when there is such a focus on the age, and some of the drama is very teen drama. And as much as I kind of love that in some things, when I'm reading, I think I've just prefer to read not necessarily even older characters, but just writing that's not based around age specific things, especially when it's targeted towards young adults, because I just can't relate as well anymore. And some of the team drama does kind of annoy me at this point. But I think because this is more of a adventure series or something, like it's not so much based on the romance, it might be okay, because teenage romance, just as much as I do love the cheesy romances, I do prefer reading about someone that's not underage. So that is just my personal preference. But these are the books that I got today. And if I do a quick tally, that's 5, 9, 13, 15, 18, $21 I paid for these two for 6 books. So not bad. Not as cheap as the ones that I got yesterday. And I mean, all these little bits and pieces add up, but I am starting to really build up this library with books that are hopefully really interesting to read. Okay guys, so this may be the end of the video. I am on this Sunday, there's a big secondhand book sale, I guess. One of the Book Bounce, one of the secondhand bookstores in Ballarat that is operating, does weekend sales, and they've got a big one coming up this Sunday where they hire out a hall and they put everything out on tables in the hopes to sort of like move stock on. So I do want to try and check that out. If I find anything there, I will add the clips in and show you what books I got. Otherwise, this is it. And I will see you in the next video. So hopefully you liked it. Let me know what secondhand books you've been finding, whether you've bought them online, at a bookstore, at the op shop. And I will see you guys in the next video. Please like, comment, share, whatever, and see you next time. Okay, bye. Hi guys, I'm just popping in to say that I did go have a look at that book sale, but nothing caught my eye, and there was a lot of people there. I'll show you a really quick overview, but I just didn't find anything that I was really after, and it was so full of people, and there was no sort of order on which way you were walking through, and everyone was just getting in everyone's way. So in the end, I just had a quick look around and then left, but I didn't find anything that I wanted to buy, so the previous haul stands.